This is Teachable Moments with April podcast, and you guessed it, I'm your host, April. If you're a returning listener and a part of the Teachable Moments with April podcast family, welcome back. For those of you who are checking me out for the first time, well, hello and welcome. To everyone listening, look for the teachable moments that are all around you. Enjoy. This is your host of Teachable Moments with April podcast, and in this particular episode of My Two Cents, Is It Just Me?, we're going to talk about the recent developments in regards to Tyson Foods. So last night I came across some content on YouTube and different content creators talking about Tyson Foods and something that has been going on more recently with them as far as their hiring business model. So I found something on yahoo.com, and I would like to share with you guys if you guys don't already know about what's going on with Tyson Foods. So the headline for this particular article is "Thousands Boycott Tyson Foods Amid a Plan to Hire 42,000 Asylum Seekers in New York." And it was actually done yesterday, okay? And I'm going to read a portion of that. It says, angry campaigners are urging shoppers to boycott Tyson Foods and its products amid its new move to hire thousands of asylum seekers. The food company has shut down more of its poultry, and meat plants across the U.S., including facilities in Iowa, Virginia, and Arkansas, which employed over 2,000 people. Now, Tyson Foods has recently hired dozens of immigrants, with the offer including immigration lawyers. The boycott is motivated by the fear that immigrants are replacing Americans for low-grade jobs. Statistics have also shown that there's a significant decrease in the number of native-born Americans in the blue-collar workforce. Now, the American First Legal and many campaigners are pushing for a boycott of Tyson Foods and its products. The boycott is due to the company's recent closures of multiple poultry and meat processing, as I've said before, in Iowa, Indiana, Virginia, Arkansas, and Missouri. The closures are because Tyson plans to hire thousands of asylum seekers in New York, which is a move that is extremely controversial among Americans. Now, the campaigners are accusing Tyson of using the closures to ditch American workers for what they consider to be, or they're speculating, allegedly cheaper migrant labor. Now, American First Legal is a conservative action group launched by former Trump administration officials, and they've warned the company that favoring immigrants is illegal. The group posted a statement online that reads as so: "It is illegal under federal law to discriminate against American citizens based on their citizenship in favor of non-citizens of any kind when it comes to employment." So far, Tyson Foods has yet to respond to the statement or speak on its decision to employ more migrants. Now, since this was done yesterday, they probably have updated it for today, so I'll try to look for more updated information, but I wanted to find something else along with what I heard last night. So Tyson Foods has closed multiple plants recently, so let's delve into that. What else they write about this? Earlier this week, Tyson announced the closure of its pork plant in Perry, Iowa. The shutdown has cost 1,276 people their jobs in a town that houses just 8,000 people. According to local news sources, the majority of the workers at the Iowa plant were Latinos. Now, in May last year, Tyson Foods closed down 2 plants in Arkansas and Virginia, putting over 1,600 people out of jobs. The month before, the company announced that it was working on cutting 10% of its corporate jobs and 15% of its executive roles. So after the company's 2023 sales numbers hit a 0.8% slump, Tyson announced plans to shutter several more plants, including its locations in Arkansas, Indiana, and Missouri. The closure is scheduled for the first half of 2024. Then they share some content on X/Twitter. So I'm going to go past that. So it said the boycott is motivated by Tyson's decisions to hire thousands of asylum seekers, primarily located in New York and other cities. They need to fill up the roles in more undesirable, or what I guess they consider to be undesirable categories due to the sinking unemployment rate of 3.9%. Tyson currently employs over 40,000 immigrants in its 120,000 plus strong workforce in its U.S. businesses. They're boosting this number significantly by collaborating with the Tent Partnership for Refugees, which is a non-for-profit focused on helping immigrants in the United States. Now, Garrett Dolan, the head of Tyson's Social Efforts Division, recently told Bloomberg that the company would like to employ let me get it right, would like to employ another. Okay, so it means they already got they strong, real strong. They want to get another 42,000 if we can find them. Over the past few weeks, the company has hired more asylum seekers from Mexico, Colombia, and Venezuela, all from a job fair in New York. And this is what that Miss Lowdown had researched as well. They're actually, the people are not coming to them, they're going to the people. So according to Dolan's statements to Bloomberg, companies like Tyson need more asylum seekers to fill the employment gaps at their plants. Their job offers for immigrants start at $16.50 per hour, with benefits like fully paid for immigration lawyers. The article goes on to say, campaigners are kicking back against Tyson's decision to employ more immigrants because of fears that they're replacing Americans in the labor industry. This is especially critical in meat packing and other plant-related jobs, which are generally considered undesirable for Americans themselves. Now, data released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics show that between July and August 2023, the workforce suffered a significant decline in native-born workers at about 1.2 million people. Now, in contrast, foreign-born workers witnessed a boom in employment, gaining about 668,000 jobs. So then the article takes a turn and it starts to make reference to social media. And they said that social media is enraged by Tyson Foods' decision. Then they show something that was posted to TikTok. Now on social media, several people have expressed their displeasure at Tyson Foods for deciding to hire more migrant workers. One person wrote on TikTok, "I haven't eaten Tyson in years, won't start now, their food is," and then they just kind of bleeped it out anyway, and treat the farm animals like they're in a Holocaust. No thanks. Another said, "It's one thing hiring them, but laying off U.S. citizens to hire them is another." So this was another factor to this. I personally don't have a problem with them hiring people who are immigrants or whatever, whoever's best suited for the job. The issue that caught my attention was the fact that there were people that were actually working there, and they wanted and they needed their jobs, and they happened to be people who were already there, okay, and who they just fired them, okay. They fired them. They said it was because of this and it was because of that. I feel like they were not disgenuine of why they let them go, and only to backpedal, okay, let these people go that needed their jobs, only to go and hire and continue to hire people, okay. Those first group of people, they needed their jobs. I can see if they were ineffective, they weren't good at what they did. They didn't say anything about that. That was not a factor. The factor is that everyone needs their jobs, and then they're saying that people don't want to work. Well, those people in this regard did want to work, and they were working, and you let them go, and now they have no job. That's what I personally have a problem with. So you can't say that people are lazy and they don't want to work when they was already working, okay? And you decided to be disingenuous, aka lie, and then let them go and make them lose their job, and then go hire a bunch of other people, okay? Now, if they're not good, they're this, they're that, they're ill-equipped, they're this, I get that, okay? That's all fair. But the fact that you lied about why you let them go shows that you are disingenuous. I'm just going by the information that was given to me. There you go. Now, they had, in this particular video, an audio that this individual from YouTube, Miss Lowdown, she played audio, and it was a statement that was given, and they were saying all of these things that these people didn't want to work. But it makes no sense, because that's not what happened here. People wanted to work, and they were working there, and you let them go, okay? And the fact that you're saying that these jobs are undesirable, they're undesirable, so you're going to give it to these other people. So it's kind of like you're insulting the immigrants to me in a way. Oh, these jobs nobody wants, okay, we're gonna give it to them. I mean, like, it's, I don't know, maybe I'm taking it the wrong way, but I really don't feel that I am, okay? And then the next person said on social media, are they hiring them because citizens don't want to do that job anymore, though? I would like the whole story, because that's a lot of positions, yes it is, to fill if there isn't any underlying issue. There were people there. I can see if the jobs were vacant, okay, and they couldn't fill them, okay? I used to work in a place where it got to the point where it was a very small agency, but it was kind of a struggle, to be in all honesty. You have places where it's a struggle to fill those jobs, okay? It's hard. You're putting out ads, you're looking, and there's no one to fill it. That I get, that I understand. But if there's somebody already there and they want their job and they're doing their job, why did you let them go? That's kind of foul. And then the last person commented on social media, said, disgusting. Hope they go out of business very soon. So there are a lot of people who, you know, understandably, I mean, why? I mean, oh my God. Why are you doing that? Alright, so we're back. So I found another article regarding the Tyson Foods Company, and hold on a second, I believe it's from Bloomberg.com, and it says Tyson is hiring New York immigrants for jobs that no one else wants. And then it says Meatpacker to seek, or Meatpacker Company, it should say, to seek 52,000 versus the other, was it 45 or 42,000 employees this year for factory jobs. They said Venezuela, Mexico, Colombia migrants also are being hired for a Tennessee plant as well. But I'm not going to be able to read that, because now I see at the bottom of the screen that they're asking for money, and I'm going to decline. So I'm going to find another article, guys. Alright, so I found another article, free I hope, that was on Microsoft Start, and let me go down. Okay, boycotts emerge over Tennessee Foods plans to hire migrants. This was published about 8 hours ago by someone by the name of Rose and Akbari. Okay, Akbari. Let's see, they have a picture. Let's see what they got. They also talk about Tyson Food faces backlash for planning to recruit 52,000 migrants to work in its factories, a move that coincides with the closure of its Iowa facility, igniting a heated dispute over U.S. immigration and employment policies. Now, I can't help but my mind go back to the previous article. And for me, like I said, it's not about people who are U.S. Citizens versus that that they should have all the jobs and the migrants shouldn't. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't think because I think that it's not fair that people actually do need their jobs. Okay, the people that I could see, if you kept those people and they're doing their jobs, they like working there, they need their jobs, and then you gave, you created or you hired more people to accommodate and give them opportunities. I think that's great. But when you take, I'm seeing a trend in which there are people that are occupying certain spaces, and you are pushing people out and then putting other people in that space. You're taking away resources, okay, that are very limited, and you're taking it away and then you're giving it to other groups of people. Now, no matter what group is involved, I think it's wrong. You should not do that. Even if it was transversed, if it was changed, it's wrong either way. Okay, you should be able to help all people. I don't understand why I don't get this. I don't get this at all. So the article goes into saying something about recruitment amid New York's migrant surge, and it says Tyson Foods' strategy seeks to hire newly arrived asylum seekers in New York City, providing them, which we already learned from the first article, is $16.50 hourly wage, and additional benefits including legal support, child care, and temporary housing to mitigate labor shortages and alleviate pressures on city resources. So me and Miss Mary have talked about, just in general, when we talk about shortages. So when they declare shortages of things, I have to be honest, and we've talked about this, is that sometimes when they say these things, there's actually no shortage. Okay, we don't know what the criteria of why they're saying they're declaring there's a shortage, and when you look, there is no shortage. What is this? So in order for them to say labor shortages, there were people there. You had labor. You decided to let them go and to get new labor. So that doesn't mean, that's not the definition of shortage. So then this article also goes back to that plant, that Tyson, Iowa plant, and its closure, okay, following the announcement of the Perry, Iowa plant closure affecting 1,200 employees due to declining product demand. Now, other companies I've noticed have also said that they closed stores for something similar to this, and I even thought that was suspect, to be honest with you. Okay, so this to me kind of gives some validity to my reservations of when people say this. Oh, that's why they closed that Walmart, or that's why they closed that store. And you kind of sitting back like, yeah, no, I don't believe it. This right here is just a prime example of them saying something only to go back and do something else. Okay, it says Tyson has faced backlash for its operational decisions, marking its 6th plant closure in the past year. Interesting, right, guys? Okay. It says, as the U.S. witnesses a significant increase in asylum seekers with more than 2.4 million encounters, okay, at the U.S.-Mexico border, recorded in the fiscal year of 2023, the topic of immigration continues to be a continuous, okay, issue, okay, in the lead up to the presidential election. Now, the rise in migrant populations has led to calls for tightened border security from the Biden administration as local governments struggle with the influx of its implications for community resources. also found an article from, I believe it's foxnews.com, and its title is Tyson Hiring Migrants While Laying Off U.S. Workers is the Decimation of the American Dream. And then it says top Republican Ohio Senator J.D. Vance suggests companies who lay off Americans while seeking foreign workers should face congressional scrutiny. This was actually published today, I think in the morning time at 8 a.m. So let's explore. So some of the information obviously in this article is very similar to the other articles. It says, talks about Tyson Foods announcing that it's shuttering. It started with the Iowa pork factory. Actually, I was talking to Miss Mary, and I didn't even know that Tyson had any dealings with pork. I thought it was just chicken. That's all I basically knew Tyson for. When they said pork factory or pork plant, excuse me, I was like, say what? So they're talking about, the job lossage or whatever before they closed it. They shuttered it. That would lead to more than 1,000 lost jobs. The company reportedly met with hired migrants in Manhattan for positions at a Tennessee plant after announcing it will join with this particular tent partnership for refugees. They start with the staff from the poultry heavyweight engaged with asylum seekers at the New York office. This is particular yogurt, Chobani Yogurt, whose CEO founded the actual charity that they are talking about, Tent Partnership for Refugees. At least 87 migrants from Central and South America were hired in two separate groups, according to Tribune News Service. The same report said Tyson employs about 42,000 immigrants, and the company's corporate social responsibility executive said, we would like to employ another 42,000 if we could find them. Now, in response to the news, Senator J.D. Vance, who's a Republican from Ohio, said companies who lay off Americans while seeking foreign nationals for open positions should face congressional scrutiny. It goes on to say, we're certainly going to look into whether we can change that ability, assuming Tyson is operating legally, Vance told Jesse Waters Prime Time on Thursday. All we know is that they are firing American workers and hiring illegal aliens to replace them. This is the entire point of illegal immigration, and Republicans, we've got to hammer this point home. Vance argued that the hiring of migrants or foreign nationals who are willing to work for lower pay than U.S. citizens both exacerbates the labor pool and suppresses wages for working class families. Host Jesse, noted how top Democrats have publicly spoken about the need for foreign nationals to take American jobs. It says to House Judiciary Committee Ranking Member Jerry Nadler, lamenting in January that vegetables would rot in the ground if they weren't being picked by many, many immigrants. Many, many illegal immigrants. Wow, okay. Goes on to say that the Nancy Pelosi's September 2022 comments facing and asking why Florida would fly migrants out of state if farmers were purportedly clamoring for laborers. They go on to say that a Tyson spokesperson said Tyson's Food is proud to employ a diverse workforce, including immigrants, all of whom are legally authorized to work in the United States. However, Vance suggested U.S. companies acting like Tyson Foods are not practicing true capitalism. That is not capitalism or a market economy. That is the decimation of the American middle class via illegal immigration, and it's happening all over the country, he said. Ooh. Vance also faulted the Biden administration for, as he characterized it, making it easier to pretend that economic migrants are asylum seekers. I never heard of them referred to as economic migrants. pretend that economic migrants are asylum seekers. This is the end of the American dream. If we let this stuff happen, we've got to re-elect Donald Trump, and we've got to get congressional Republicans with some spine to push back against the stuff. In a statement to Fox Business on the shuttering of the Iowa factory, Tyson spokesperson said the closure emphasizes our focus to optimize the efficiency of our operations to best serve our customers. That's interesting. And it says Perry, Iowa Mayor Dirk Kavanaugh told Reuters that the Tyson plant was the largest employer in the area and that it would be tough to figure out what to do without them. The migrants hired in New York will reportedly go to work at the Tyson plant in Humboldt, Tennessee. So in closing to this particular episode, we're going to look at yet another article on this particular topic. It's from the dailywire.com, and it says Tyson Foods hiring illegal migrants in New York once more. And then in quotation marks it says they're very, very, very loyal. And I believe this was published, I want to say Friday. And it says the company has already hired dozens of migrants who obtained work permits. It says Tyson Foods is hiring a number of illegal immigrants who recently arrived in New York. Tyson, which is known for its chicken products and owns brands, like Jimmy Dean and Hillshire Farm, has already hired dozens of migrants who obtained work permits and is looking to hire many, many, many more, according to Bloomberg, which was the one that we went to, but they wanted to charge, so no, I'm not paying. I want the information, but sorry, Bloomberg. Okay. Now, the meatpacking company is working with Tent Partnership, which they mentioned before, Tent Partnership for Refugees, which was founded. Now it's a particular yogurt company. I cannot say what their name is, but I have seen their yogurt. Chobani yogurt. I don't think I've ever tried it though. And it was founded by the owner or the founder of this particular yogurt company to hire some of the recently arrived migrants in New York. Now, on one day in February, Tyson met with 17 migrants from Venezuela, Mexico, and Colombia at their offices. This particular yogurt founder offices in Manhattan, and hired them to work at Tyson's Humboldt, Tennessee plant. Last week, Tyson reportedly hired 70 more migrants. Now, New York has seen an influx of more than 180,000 illegal migrants over the past 2 years, creating a crisis that has strained the city's budget and caused officials to plead for federal help. Then it goes on to say that Tyson, already employs about 42,000 immigrants and refugees, although it is not clear how many are in the country illegally. We would like to employ another 42,000 if we could find them. It seems like they're finding them. Garrett Dolan, which is a human resource leader at Tyson, which told Bloomberg. Then it goes on to say, we're recognizing there's not a lot of people that are going to be working labor manufacturing jobs that are American. Dolan said, adding that many of the new hires are going to come from refugees and immigrants. So we're now in the business of strategically thinking that through. Now, Tyson has a high turnover rate for frontline employees, those washing and packing chicken, for example, with 4 in 10 of those workers leaving the company each year. Because of this, the company is looking to hire about, and we learned that from the previous, that same number, 52,000 employees just over this year. those frontline jobs starting at the number again, that $16.50 an hour, including benefits. Now, Tyson is also providing migrant workers with other benefits, including on-site child care, transportation, and, now they didn't say it for the other one, optional English classes. That could be useful. The new hires from New York also get temporary housing and a relocation stipend to move to Humboldt and have time paid off. Sounds good. The company also set aside $1.5 million for legal aid services and is providing workers with paid time off to attend whatever court hearings they need to go to. Now, in 2023, Tyson paid for 1,317 workers to become U.S. citizens. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. They're very, 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 very loyal, Dolan said. They've been uprooted, and what they want is stability. What they want is a sense of belonging. Now, Tyson currently has a U.S. workforce of about 120,000 people. Now, last year, Tyson was one of several food companies that faced a Labor Department probe over allegations of child migrant labor. Okay. I feel in my spirit I gotta read that again. Last year, Tyson was one of several food companies that faced a Labor Department probe over allegations of child migrant labor. Now, Tyson has said it has zero tolerance for child labor and maintained it does not allow minors to work at any of its facilities. Oh, don't say it ain't so. Some critics took to social media to call for a boycott over Tyson's decision to hire migrants. Tyson is selling out Americans and hiring illegal immigrants, posted X user. Okay, this is blatantly America last. Tyson is closing its facility in Perry, Iowa, and laying off its 1,200 workers. Instead, they plan to hire thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of new illegals in states like New York. Pass it on. This was someone on X. And I think they said their account is in wokeness. Well, guys, that's the end of that particular article. All I can say in closing is that I was telling Miss Mary that I had come across a documentary that I had started, but I hadn't finished looking at it. And I don't remember if it said anything about necessarily Tyson, but it did talk about a lot of the companies, big companies that we all know and that we all have used or are still using. I mean, giants of food, food companies, whether it be meat packing, whatever, cereal, make cereal, the whole shebang, anything that has to do with food. And they, in this particular documentary, it used people who were incarcerated, okay, as well as children, migrant children. They go to school during the day and they work at night. They work the graveyard shift. This was a documentary that I saw. I started looking at. This is what I saw. Okay, so I don't know. I wasn't there, allegedly, but that's what the little bit that I looked at in the documentary. This is what I saw. Okay, so you got people who are incarcerated working there, and then you have children who are from other countries. They go to school. These are grade school kids. We're not talking about teenagers. We're talking about grade school kids. And they can barely stay awake in class because they didn't work the graveyard shift all night. You were just listening to Teachable Moments with April podcast. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode. We invite you to stay connected with us on our other social media platforms: TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and now Rumble. You can also leave us feedback in 3 ways: in the Interact Features section on the Spotify app, voice messages to the podcast through our customized link, or at teachablemomentswithapril@gmail.com.